going on with y'all? It's your boy NeohXO, and today I'm going to be doing a collab with Sammy. We're going to be talking about if Black Clover is underrated, and we both kind of talked about this a little bit, and we both feel like it's underrated, and we have some points to bring up on why we feel that way, and I'm going to let Sammy take it away.
Hey, thank you for the collab, bro. As you all know me, I'm Sammy. Neo hit me up and said, let's do a collab. I'm like, yeah, sure. I have a collab planned as well, so keep an eye out for that in the future. And as you just said, we've been talking about it for like the last 10 minutes, and we both have hella few points we do want to discuss in this video.
So yeah, I feel like it's pretty underrated because one of the things that a lot of people keep bringing up is when it, in regards to the anime, is studio parrot. For some reason, people hate on this studio a lot, and at the end of the day, Black Clover is a manga and an anime, so even if somebody doesn't like the manga or the anime, they can still check out the other product. Now when it comes specifically to the anime, I feel like it got a bad rep right off of the start for two reasons, and honestly I don't know if I really agree with them at all, and I don't really know why people thought this. So the first reason when it comes to the anime is people said that the animation in the beginning was very bad, and I don't know how it was when it was actually airing, but I've seen like some of the Blu-ray content and it wasn't that bad to me. But I feel like it still gets a bad rep for the beginning stages. Like, how you feel about the beginning though?
If anything, straight off the bat from episode 1, I think you're right, it got a bad rep even before it aired, mainly because of the studio period doing Bleach and Naruto. So a lot of people were scared that we're going to go into Black Clover episode 1 with probably like years and years of filler plan. So a lot of people probably were cautious jumping in straight away and taking it off from episode 1. As you mentioned, the Blu-ray, yeah, the Blu-ray is absolutely clean, but sometimes the anime isn't, and they make it cleaner in the Blu-ray.
So do you feel like it's still haunting Black Clover to this day? Because I feel like the first impressions of a series can really have a lasting impact.
No, definitely, I do definitely think it's haunting some people. Like, I see some people, even now that Asta's voice is a lot better today than it was, and it's actually a lot cleaner, a lot more sophisticated, and he's even won awards for being one of the best voice actors in anime this year, in 2020. But even now, I see some people who jump from the dub to the sub say, oh, the voice is so bad, oh, the voice is so annoying. I'm like, what? But that's obviously some people who have stuck from the dub from the beginning, but obviously now since the dub is on break, they have to jump to the sub.
Yeah, I never really had an issue with Oster yelling a lot, because to me I feel like it had a kind of impact on the narrative of the story, because whenever I heard Oster yelling, either it was one of two things, in my opinion. You might disagree or you might agree. So one of the things I realized why Oster was screaming is because, first off, he has to convince himself of the things that he actually wants to achieve, because nobody really understands Oster, because obviously Oster's the only character that has been introduced that does not have any mana or magic or anything like that. So he actually has to convince himself, and to convince himself he actually has to yell. And the second reason that he yells is because of comedic effect. I think it's actually kind of funny some of the times when he's yelling. So I don't know if you agree or disagree.
No, I definitely agree. Like, every point you just said there was absolutely perfect. But I think a lot of people hit too close to home, because a lot of people think for some reason Naruto invented the whole I'm lonely, let me yell to get attention, when it's just natural human habits. Like, we even see it, some people at school, my high school, university, like those who don't get attention really just start to like talk a lot louder than normal.
Another point that I think you're gonna agree with me on is the fact that you kind of brought it up a little bit. Black Clover gets compared to Naruto so much, and it's like, in my opinion, I don't really even see the parallels between Black Clover and Naruto. Like, obviously there's a couple, because, you know, it's just anime tropes. Like, Asta wants to become the Wizard King, Naruto wanted to become the Hokage. But other than that, I think Black Clover actually does a good job of separating itself. And at the end of the day, they are animated by the same studio, so there's gonna be like a little bit of, you know, kind of those things that, yeah, like people automatically gonna be like, oh, it's a Naruto copy, but it's really not. I think it stands on its own. And I think you pretty much gonna agree with that for sure.
Like, at its core basis, what they want to achieve is different. Like, in Naruto's world, from what I've seen in Naruto, there wasn't injustice. They weren't like, ha, look at you, you're a shitty ninja, you're bad at being a ninja. Like, that didn't happen in Naruto's world from what I've seen. But in Black Clover world, like, there are definitely people affected by having a lack of mana, and Asta wants to, like, change the way people look at commoners, peasants, and civilians.
And when it comes to, like, also the current anime that are airing right now, I feel like it gets compared to My Hero a lot. And when it comes to comparing it to My Hero, what people don't realize is My Hero had a lot of, I feel like My Hero had a lot of advertisement compared to Black Clover. Like, My Hero is advertised literally everywhere, and I live in the States and it's advertised over here so much, and I don't really see a lot of advertisement for Black Clover, and that definitely impacts the popularity of a series. It doesn't matter how good the quality of a series is if it's really not getting any advertisement, because that's really what sells the show.
No, I definitely agree with that. And obviously My Hero Academia had the very good momentum and hype going into it because it came out at the height of the superhero movies, like everyone talking about Avengers Infinity War coming out soon in the next couple of years, and then bang, we get hit with a superhero manga from Japan, and it just comes in at the hype of the moment where Thor, Iron Man are all popping off in the box office. So it really resonated with the West. But even with Black Clover having almost zero advertisement, it's still, I don't know if you saw the Crunchyroll top anime of 2019, but Black Clover was winning a lot of countries.
Black Clover is just really good, and I feel like the people who think that it's not good didn't really check it out enough. Now, in the beginning, I mean, I can kind of see how people wouldn't like it in the beginning, but now switching over to the manga a little bit, the manga is going absolutely crazy. Like, the manga is so good with the Spade Kingdom arc. Like, I really think that it's top tier manga. Honestly, it's top tier. It's really good. The Spade Kingdom arc, we got the Dark Triad introduced. I'm not gonna go too much into depth in this because I don't want to spoil anyone who hasn't read it, but I think, once again, I think you're gonna agree with me about the Spade Kingdom arc, how that should not be underrated, and I feel like it's being underrated right now, but that might just be due to the fact that it hasn't come to the anime yet. So that's what I think on that.
Bro, I'm absolutely loving the Spade Kingdom arc. Especially one of the things that I've recently noticed is that we're still technically in the first saga of Black Clover. This entire Spade Kingdom arc war, everything started back in chapter 1 where Oster managed to get the 5-leaf Grimoire, and now obviously now we're seeing don't want any spoilers or too hard spoilers, but now we're seeing how Asta's devil is reacting to the other devils, and obviously everything that happened in the elf arc with the other devil, which I don't want to spoil his name for those of you who aren't up to date, but everything is pretty much all leading up to the Spade Kingdom, like finishing Black Clover's first major saga.
Yeah, and I feel like that has a major part to play in as to why it's pretty underrated right now. Once it comes to the anime, I think it should possibly get the recognition that it deserves, because I feel like Black Clover should be considered one of the greats once it's all said and done. Now, I don't want to jump to conclusions right now, but at the pace it's going, like, I can definitely look into the future. I'm one of those people who just kind of see where something is headed, and Tabata really takes his manga seriously. He definitely takes the story really seriously, and as me and you were talking, like, off camera earlier, you said, like, they have foreshadowing in some of the early chapters, but, like, also, as we said off recording, some people, you could talk about that a little bit too, but, like, some people definitely missed stuff like that, and, like, me and you being such huge fans, we catch on to stuff like that, and we can see where it's heading in the future.
As like obviously just said, like, as YouTubers, like, we pay attention to a lot of the, like, small points because we like to make theories, so we actually catch on to this. But a lot of people miss a lot of the foreshadowing. Like, we saw Noct back in chapter 2, we saw Henry back in chapter 2, we saw Henry actually around chapters 90, 99, and 100 before he was introduced around chapter 140, I want to believe, in the deep in the elf saga. So there's a lot of points that a lot of people see and read things, and then they just forget about it because they don't think it's that important, they don't think that's interesting. And I think that's mainly because of other manga, because the only other manga that I can see that foreshadows things almost as good as Black Clover is One Piece.
So pretty much one of the last things I want to say is, the fact that once it comes to the anime, once the Spade Kingdom arcs comes to the anime, it should get the respect that it deserves. But people just be kind of disrespecting Black Clover. Like, people were even saying that it's going to get canceled, and that has not been confirmed by anybody, but people just don't put no respect on Black Clover, and like they're going as far as to say it's probably going to be canceled. But I just want to close off, and then I'll let you say some final things too. But people were saying that it was going to get canceled with nobody ever said that. People are just assuming that, and pretty much I think that once again, once it comes to the Spade Kingdom arc in the anime, Black Clover is finally gonna get some of the hype it deserves. And piggybacking off of one of your points you said about it's still in the beginning stages, this can be as long as Naruto or maybe Bleach, and this is just the beginning. And I feel like people are still sleeping on it, but hopefully people start to wake up.
Even said he wanted as long as One Piece.
Facts. So hopefully people, you know, start to wake up and, you know, show us some more respect and like appreciate what they have and actually get into the series. But that's pretty much all I have to say. Anything else you got left?
No, honestly, guys, for those of you who haven't jumped on Black Clover and you're interested in after watching this video, just give it a chance. Read 20 chapters, watch 20 episodes, see what you think.
And also, everybody, make sure to go check out Sammy's channel. I'm going to put a link to it in the description. He's a really good YouTuber. He covers Black Clover and anything you could pretty much think about anime and manga related. And with that being said, it's been a pretty good discussion.
Thank you, Neo, for inviting me.
No problem, man. Anything else you got to say to my audience?
Check out Neo's channel and don't forget to smash that like button.
And with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. As always, it's been your boy NeohXO, and I'm out.